of Metallica, and I loved it. And so Blackened was real well, and the guitar solo was really good too. And One is an amazing song as well. That is kind of around when Metallica was getting huge again. So after that, what I'm going to talk about next is the Black Album. The Black Album, it was released like over 18 million, you could say, in the first week. It got, I think it was 18 million. I cannot be sure. I haven't researched how much it released, but the Black Album is overall their best album, and Enter Sandman got many reviews, The Unforgiven, and Nothing Else Matters, and Wherever I May Roam, and Sad But True, Through the Never. They got a lot of reviews, and it's amazing, and My Friend Misery as well. And so after that, Metallica kind of went through some changes, and I can't really say. A lot of people kind of disagree on how they went, and I kind of do too, because it wasn't our Metallica on who we liked and how they used to be, and they weren't crazy anymore. But the thing is, you were using negative energy the whole time. But after the incident in 1992, when James Hetfield got burnt, which some people say that he lost his voice, when actually it burnt his arm and some of his hair. So if it burns his arm and his hair, how is that going to affect his something like his diaphragm or any part of his body that would help him sing or anything? I don't get how that would work. I think it happened because he grew through old age. Maybe it could have been partly because he was on fire, he got stunned. But no, I don't think it's possible that would have happened. But that's just my opinion. You can have yours. That's great. And so yeah, after that they decided to make some changes. It took a long time for their next album to come out. And suddenly the time came. Load released. What could I say about Load? I said everything nice about the other album so far, the classic Metallica albums, but Load is not my kind of style. I mean, trust me, they're real amazing songs. I mean, Metallica did it, and I should at least respect it. They're not my type, but in order to respect anyone else's opinion, I will accept that they are good songs. But they're not a type that I would listen to, because it doesn't feel like who Metallica is to me. And you should respect that as well. It didn't give me some of that, that strong, thrashy feeling, and just like, yes, it just didn't have any of that. You had to be in a certain mood to listen to it. I've seen many reviews, and they always said you have to be in a certain mood to listen to some of them at times. Again, that part wasn't my opinion. That was some reviews I heard. And if you ever find those reviews, don't blame me for it. Just blame them. And no, I'm not offending other YouTubers. And after that, we have Reload, which released the song Fuel. Fuel was a good song, I admit that. And still, again, though, I won't listen to it because it's not my Metallica. I respect it. I don't really like it that much, but I do respect it. And it is a great song. I kind of wish another band had that song. And because if another band had that song, I would listen to it. But there's no way I can picture Metallica making that song. So it just doesn't work. Yet again, I respect the albums, but I just can't stand them. So afterward, they released Garage Inc., Garage Incorporated, which had the Garage, what's it called? Garage Days Revisited and all that, and it was pretty old stuff that they put together. And I think James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, or whatever, they found a box. And along with other bassist, after Cliff Burton died, and his name is Jason Newsted, they discovered him. So it wasn't the best. I mean, Whiskey in the Jar, I understand that that's a good song to cover, but for Metallica to do it, yet again, Metallica doing it, it is kind of different and strange, so it's nothing I would necessarily listen to. I am a Metallica fan. I like Metallica a lot. There's nothing I necessarily hate about Metallica. There's just some things I might not agree with what they did. And that's kind of what a fan is. To be a fan, you don't necessarily have to like everything, but you should at least respect everything they've done. I mean, Lone Reload, like, again, they're not my style. I wouldn't listen to them, but I'd respect that they've done that. And the same with them doing Whiskey in the Jar. Lulu, that's kind of a different story that every Metallica fan can somewhat agree on. And I'll get to that later. So after that is they released a S&M, which is kind of a weird idea, but it is pretty interesting because they have symphony. They had some symphonies in it. It's called Symphony of Metallica, if you're curious. And it was just basically remixes with symphony in it, and they did it live a couple times. It's the band playing with an orchestra. And so other than that, later the band went to rehab after Jason Newsted leaving. It kind of broke them apart, and they just thought, man, without him, we're kind of apart. So they fell apart, and basically they got together again, and they made a movie, Some Kind of Monster. I actually own it, and it's a real good film. They discuss things together, and they finally understand that they can use power and metal without any negative energy like they used to. And so they released the album Saint Anger. Saint Anger, in my opinion, is basically Lone Reload if it was thrashy. And it was pretty good, honestly. I mean, some of the songs do get old, but it is a pretty good album. I mean, a lot of people dislike the album, and it kind of disappoints me a little, but I understand. I mean, yeah, there are pretty much no guitar solos, and James Hetfield, I mean, he kind of sounds weird at times, but hey, it is a good album overall. I mean, come on, they're speaking about anger here, and it helps you get the anger out. I've seen many people talk about it helping with anger and stuff, and I believe that because it's true. I mean, it helps you with an album. It's somewhat of a cure. So other than that, they finally released a Metallica album that seemed like it would be a classic, which is Death Magnetic. They started going thrash again because of Saint Anger, and it was unbelievable. They did the solos, they did James Hetfield was back, and they were playing like they used to when they were having the joy, but just without any negative energy, and it's amazing. Robert Trujillo came in during Saint Anger, and he continued with them and is now part of the Metallica family because of Jason Newsted leaving, so he became bassist. It was an amazing album. All Nightmare Long was genius. So after that, we have Lulu. And I gotta say, my opinion on Lulu isn't the best. It wasn't good. I mean, I understand, they're two great artists, and it is an okay idea to go with each other, but it isn't right to play, because that kind of didn't make sense, but so what if someone came to you today and said, Metallica teamed up with Lou Reed and made an album. Metallica's technical first collaboration album. What would you say to that? If you know who Lou Reed is, and you know who Metallica is, and you know how old Lou Reed is, and if you know how old Metallica is, kind of difference, right? And how they, how they play and how they sing. Just why did that have to happen? It's not a good album really at all. I couldn't stand it. I listened to it and I'm like, what beat is there to this? There is a little bit of beat, like I Am the Table